We're catching up here with Jake Ellenberger, who's scheduled a fight in Montreal on March 16th at UFC 158. First of all, Jake, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Just got some training done, so feel good. Feel ready.
So there's been a change in your opponent. Can you kind of walk us through how you heard about the change?
Yesterday I found out I had my phone started blowing up and didn't really realize what was going on. I figured something had happened, and then my manager told me about the change. So, I've been, it's one of those things. It happens. I figured, okay, somebody got hurt or Johnny got hurt and whatever, but that wasn't the case. He took the back door and he rather would not fight me, so he'd rather fight Condit. I mean, it's. I would, in a respectful way, it's a less dangerous fight for him, So it is what it is. That's what the boss said. So we're gonna do what we can. Me and Johnny we'll meet. We'll eventually meet. We'll meet at some point. You know what I mean? He's done well. I would say he's had I'd like to call the perfect storm, where he's won some extremely close fights that could have gone either way. And he's obviously knocked a few guys out too. So. For him, it's been the perfect storm. I wouldn't. Here's my argument, and I'm going to choose my words carefully. But he is the number one contender. I'm not arguing that at all. I believe he is the number one contender. But I think if you're in that position, that you don't have a choice of who you fight. And for him to go to Dana and say, "Hey, I want to fight Carlos Condit," that's like, really? I've been training specifically for Johnny Hendricks for 8 weeks. Flying people in from all over the country in specific training partners and coaches. So it's like. It's frustrating on my part, but it offends me that he did that. So I know we're going to meet eventually at some point. I mean, whether he wins the title or not, I'm sure we'll still meet. But yeah, I think I know his style, and I haven't figured out. So he, in his mind, he probably wanted to take a less dangerous fight. It's an extremely unpredictable sport, and I think people like to put a lot of logic and reasoning into a cage fight, and it doesn't really make sense to me because anything can happen. You know what I mean? I've when I fought Martin Kampmann too, I dropped him in the first round. It was close to being stopped, but it wasn't. And he dropped me, and they stopped the fight. So that's just the business. You know what I mean? He got the win that night, and people would like to make logical sense since Johnny knocked out Kampmann that he would knock me out, which is not the case. Johnny took a fight with Carlos Condit and not me, which we were scheduled to fight. So it just goes back to the fact that why I'm not arguing he's not the number one contender, but why you have a date and you have a person set. It's just like it's not very professional to do. So it's frustrating for me, but eventually we'll meet.